Guess what, guys? We actually got it. We actually did decent as guides this time. All right, everybody, I am here with Jason Hall. You might have heard of him. He's from the Bird Joy podcast. He also is big on Instagram, big in the birding scene from Philadelphia. And actually, first time on the channel, Leela. She's actually my wife. Yes, I'm married. So there's a secret for you. But we're up here, Mill Creek Canyon in Salt Lake City, Utah. And we have picked up some lifers today. First lifer of the day was the Hammond's flycatcher, which was absolutely amazing. A little bit backlit by the sun, hoping to see it back on the way down. But then we were trying to get, what bird were you looking for, Jason?
MacGillivrary's Warbler.
Yes. Looking for the MacGillivrary's Warbler, and guess what, guys? We actually got it. We actually did decent as guides this time and got Jason the MacGillivrary's. Actually, to be honest, Jason's the one who heard it, found it, etc. So he really guided us. So yeah, got beautiful shots. That's a camera lifer for me. First time seeing it on the channel. And yeah, we're gonna continue walking down this trail and see if we can pick up any other birds. Also, got on camera Western Tanager. It's not the one I need for Cache County, nor is it really good shots because of the lighting, but did pick up a Western Tanager. And then on the way down, back at the parking lot, picked up a yellow warbler as well. Really good day of birding so far. And yeah, let's see what else we can find. Yeah, bye.
Welcome, I'm Jason Hall, founder of In Color Birding Club, and I just wanted to talk to you today about the importance of Black Birders Week. Black Birders Week was founded in 2020 by the Black AF and STEM Collective as a way to highlight the need to create safe, joyful, and meaningful spaces in nature for Black and brown folks. This is its 5th year, and there are a lot of themes that go throughout the week that aim at recognizing one another, finding joy in the space, celebrating some of the change that has happened in birding in the last 5 years. We really want folks to understand that this is not an effort to do anything other than make sure that we are creating space for Black and brown folks in the already existing activity of birding, which for many years has been dominated by old white men. And in some cases, the systemic racist policies that have infiltrated a lot of our communities. So what can you do, right? Number one, if you're an ally, make sure that as you're entering spaces or inviting Black or brown folks to do things with you, that you are stopping for a moment to consider where they may be coming from in their life, the experiences they've had, asking them what do they need to feel comfortable. Don't shy away from taking those extra moments to explain things that you may take for granted about your comfort in nature. Most importantly, recognize and validate the joy of the activity as they bring it. Not everybody celebrates birding and finding birds the same way, right? I regularly encourage folks, if they're gonna cry, cry. If you wanna smile, laugh, high five your friend, do a little dance, take a little quiet moment of reflection. All of those things are things that we should be celebrating. And so as we're in this Black Birders Week and trying to celebrate this with one another, I want you to take those messages with you afterwards. And so this doesn't just go for Black folks. If you meet folks that are from different religious communities, different ethnic communities, folks that may have accessibility challenges, right? It never hurts to take that extra time to meet them where they are and find ways to have them enjoy this activity as well. Meaningful and consistent actions are what's going to make the change. You don't need to do a big fireworks show, a massive performative action. It's really those genuine one-on-one activities where people feel recognized and seen, and then we validate their joy in nature. So as we get through Black Birders Week this year, I want you to remember that and understand that the goal is that in the future, there wouldn't have to be a Black Birders Week, because we would all be doing this together. We would all be recognizing one another. And birding could really become the activity that it should have been for a long time for everyone. Thank you.
All right, y'all, just finished birding with Jason Hall, and it was absolutely an amazing day. I didn't film a lot because we were talking and just having a good, relaxing time birding. But hopefully you enjoyed the birds that I did get on camera. Make sure you leave Jason a follow on Instagram. I'll link his stuff in the description below. And then go check out the podcast, the Bird Joy podcast. Absolutely amazing. So much energy, so much fun. Definitely check it out. We're gonna head to our next location, and I'm going to talk about bird mysteries that have never been solved. So stay tuned. All right, I'm now in Apple Valley, California. We are on the Mojave River Walk. I don't know how many birds we're actually gonna see on this trail. I've been on it before and it's not crazy birdy because we're in the desert. I'll show you some scenery. Hopefully we see some stuff. We're gonna talk about 3 bird mysteries that have technically never been solved. The first bird mystery that I wanna talk about is called the Washington Eagle. And this is a bird that Audubon published in his book, Birds of America. And this bird looks like a juvenile bald eagle. It kind of looks like a golden eagle. Problem is, never existed. So I don't know if you're aware, but Audubon actually got accused of plagiarizing quite frequently during his time, copying kind of the artwork of other naturalists like Wilson, for example. And so that's one theory, that he kind of plagiarized a golden eagle and put it in his book for clout, and it never actually existed. Another theory is that the bird did exist, but it went extinct shortly after Audubon found it. I find that very unlikely. I don't think that bird that big in that Washington area, on that East Coast area, wouldn't have been seen by other people, so I don't find that likely. And then the third theory is that he made it up completely, again, for clout and to kind of boost the book into kind of more legendary status by creating a few birds that were made up. It's not the only bird that Audubon is known to have illustrated that didn't actually ever exist. So that's a very interesting bird mystery that we don't really have a solid answer for. Also, the backyard birds in Southern California are kind of insane. My favorite bird, the greater roadrunner, has shown up 2 days in a row at one of the houses that we've been at hanging out, and my goodness, it's absolutely insane. We got this video with an iPhone and it was sitting there in the backyard. It was even calling to us multiple times. We're pretty sure they might be nesting actually in the backyard, but they're definitely hanging around. There's 2 of them that hang out there, and we've seen them on 2 days in a row out of the 2 days that we've been here. So absolutely amazing to have greater roadrunners in our backyard. The next mystery that I want to talk about right now is the mystery of the mothman. Now, some of you are probably super familiar with this, but in 1962, a couple from West Virginia reported seeing a bird-like creature that was human-sized and human-like. A lot of people don't know this, but it was originally described as a bird-like creature, not a moth-like creature, but it was later popularized in newspapers and in a book that was published as well that kind of pushed the limits of the story and really adapted it into kind of this big Bigfoot-like situation. My theory on this creature that this couple saw, if it's not completely made up, is that they actually saw a great horned owl, a barn owl, or a barred owl. Now, the reason I think this is that because in the field it's really difficult. It's extremely difficult to tell size of things. A lot of times we think birds are much bigger than they actually are. And a lot of times we describe birds as being much bigger than they actually are. And so I really do think that they saw an owl. It has a human-like face. Also, kind of has a moth-like face as well with those big eyes. So I think that the mothman is actually an owl species, and it was just expounded upon and embellished to become this big legend. All right, we came across a water source and just listen to the frogs croaking. It's pretty incredible. Then at the water source, we also picked up a few birds. We picked up song sparrows, which is nice, not anything crazy. And we also picked up a mallard swimming in the water. The sun is dropping really low and my camera is losing the ability to focus because it can't find light. I don't know how long we're gonna be on this trail, but if we don't find any more birds, I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow and show you some of the backyard birds where we're staying as well. All right, I just picked up a really cool bird, a hooded oriole, and not just one, but a couple. Now the sun's going down, so my camera really got silhouetted shots of it. I'll try to correct the lighting so you guys can see the coloration. It's a beautiful bird. I'll put an image up on screen if the quality's not good enough. That's a really good pickup for not having anything pretty much this entire trail. This makes this whole trip worth it. And that hooded oriole is an amazing bird to pick up. All right, so we're wrapping it up here on the trail. The sun's pretty much almost all the way down, but I'll give you the next mystery tomorrow when I do some backyard birding, so stay tuned. This last one's actually pretty cool. As promised, I'm out here backyard birding currently in Southern California, and for day 3 out of 3 in a row, we have greater roadrunners here in the backyard, and I got some amazing shots. I just want you guys to take a minute and enjoy my favorite bird of all time. Yeah, just enjoy this bird real quick. Hush.
Why can't you just let me eat my...
All right, so the last bird mystery that I want to talk about is Bartrum's painted vulture. In 1791, a naturalist named Bartrum was out exploring a river in Florida and came across two vulture species that he thought were new to science. One of them we know now as the black vulture, which is very abundant. It still exists today, but the other vulture was different and special and something that I don't think any of you will recognize, at least not off the bat. The bird that he described had a red crown, a golden iris, white body feathers, and a black wingtips. It also had a lot of purple around its neck. To add to the mystery, another naturalist in 1734, almost 60 years prior, described seeing a bird that was very similar and even gave it a painted rendition, which you're now seeing on screen. However, when the 1800s rolled around, especially the mid-1800s, the bird was nowhere to be found. Naturalists could not relocate the bird, and some people questioned its validity if it even existed at all. However, another theory suggests that the bird was actually a king vulture, or a subspecies of king vulture, and the king vulture still exists today in Central and South America. It just isn't known to have any populations in Florida. That is the theory that I am leaning towards. I think that this was a king vulture or subspecies of king vulture that lived in Florida at that time period, but for some reason was wiped out before or near the mid-1800s. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about Bartrum's painted vulture? Do you think it's a king vulture? Do you think it's made up? Or do you think it's something entirely different that we've never seen before? Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I hope to see you all next time on Bright Eyed Birding.